Today I'm talking about a topic that's been gaining traction in the leadership world for a while now. It's one that literally flips the script on what we think of mentorship. I think we all know that tried and true style of mentorship, where somebody more experienced, usually older, provides guidance and support to someone who's in the development stages of maybe getting the role that that person has, or just getting insight on how they got to where they are to help them in their career. Ideally, it's about development, networking, role modeling, knowledge transfer, and it is how many of us have learned and advanced in our careers. Today we're going to talk about reverse mentorship. It's when the traditional hierarchy is flipped, allowing for a more dynamic exchange of skills, experience, knowledge, and expertise from individuals who have different backgrounds, from different generations, and yes, essentially from your younger or less conventionally experienced employees, where they become your mentor. So you might be thinking, why on earth would I, an experienced leader, go around asking my younger, less experienced team members to mentor me? Won't it look like I don't know what I'm doing? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a few reasons why and how this could be really beneficial for your leadership. First up is about knowledge transfer and trend awareness, particularly when it comes to some of the younger workforce. Because let's be real, the world is moving fast. Technology is always moving very fast. Younger members of the team are probably living and breathing, particularly in the social media space, the use of technology, and often popular trends that we, as seasoned leaders, may not be aware of or may not be immersed in. I often find myself picking up little tips and tricks about new systems or technology, hearing about changes to social media from the younger members of the team. Sometimes I have no idea what they're talking about, but I am very aware that they are far more connected than I am with what is shifting and changing with technology and how they're communicating, and I am not ashamed to ask them. So imagine being really deliberate about this, actively seeking out a mentee style relationship where they teach you about the latest digital tools, social media strategies, or even just how to optimize your current software, or just like even your desktop. This can actually be a huge competitive advantage for you and your organization. You will, however, have to think about how this benefits your mentee too. It can't be all about you and your technology challenged brain. If you're going to take knowledge from them, you need to be giving something back. How can you support them? Maybe they're interested in a leadership role. Could you provide them with a little bit of support in turn? Then you can have a quid pro quo style interaction where you're supporting them and gaining valuable insight. The second reason to look at reverse mentorship is fresh perspectives. Less experienced team members or younger team members can bring incredibly innovative thinking to the table. They can offer new angles on problem solving, different approaches to challenges, and insights that can be invaluable for senior leadership teams who are struggling to adapt to a changing landscape. We often bring in subject matter experts for specific projects, but reverse mentorship applies this on a wider scale. Imagine taking your less experienced or younger staff through your strategic direction and asking for an unfiltered perspective on it. They're probably going to give you some pretty real feedback on how unrelatable it is and how they don't see how it applies to them, which is important, because then you can take that feedback and think about how you could apply it in a way that does matter to them. It can push you beyond your maybe entrenched way of thinking and allow you to detach from ideas that you might be quite fixed on, to think of new ways, to gain truly fresh insights on what you were thinking. You could do this through workshops or requesting feedback, but I would encourage you to be a little bit more dynamic in your approach and get feedback from people during their day-to-day. You can often get a more immediate response that is more genuine than if they take the time to think about it and analyse over it. If you go and talk to people one-on-one, you'll often get far better insight than trying to run some massive workshop where you're asking for feedback. Nobody wants to go anyway. It is a matter of course to ask for feedback when you're making a big change, requesting input and insight. Often it can be kind of hard to generate any engagement in actually getting people to read the thing that you want their feedback on. So trying to flip how you're thinking about this and getting people involved in things before you need to ask for feedback is often a key advantage, because you can end up going down a pathway that is completely different to what you thought, because you're going to have a fresh perspective and someone else's take from a different angle. A tip here is that you need to be genuine in this. Don't just add somebody into the table to give their feedback as a bit of a token. You're going to have to be prepared to actually sit down and hear what people are saying and actively listening to whatever it is that they might have an opinion on and be able to take it on the chin. Because let me tell you, sometimes when people give you feedback, it kind of stings a little bit if you're not in the right headspace and you're taking it personally. So you're going to have to take a step back and not think about you personally, but be prepared to listen and take on what they're saying and understand it. Even if you're not going to take on the feedback, it's still important that you hear people out. The other reason, which I've already briefly mentioned, is the idea of mutual learning. It's important to double down on this because this should be a two-way street. While you, the leader, might be gaining useful insights on how you're running your social media strategy or how to lead and effectively engage team members that are from a different generation, the idea is that they too gain from this exchange. They could learn skills like navigating organisational politics, because let's face it, there's a lot of that around and it's kind of hard to get your head around. Or if that's too boring, maybe it is leadership advice, or perhaps they want some career advice from someone who's been in the workplace for a longer time. It's a reciprocal exchange, not a one-way street. Another benefit could be about cultural exchange. Reverse mentorship can be a powerful tool for fostering understanding of different cultures, as well as building collaboration across generations. This all helps build a more inclusive workplace. It's a great way to deepen your cultural competency by actively listening and learning from someone with a different cultural background or life experience to you. I've personally experienced moments where I've received feedback from staff members that things were occurring within our processes that were culturally insensitive. I truly appreciated the approach. I didn't want to offend anybody and adapted how we were operating. Imagine if I'd actually had a reverse mentorship scheme already in place. There would already have been an opportunity to get this kind of feedback before I'd gone around offending people. Let's face it, no leader really wants to walk into a situation where they're considered culturally insensitive. In New Zealand, this can be as easy as sitting on a table, because it is culturally taboo to sit on tables, countertops, or surfaces where meals are prepared or eaten. This is something that I know as a New Zealander, but if you don't have that experience with New Zealand or Māori culture, you could easily be caught off guard by the horrified looks around you if you sat on a table where you were about to eat food. But this is the sort of thing that you could be discussing or made aware of if you had the kind of open culture, the kind of open environment where reverse mentorship was considered the norm. You won't be able to win them all. There will no doubt be situations where you need to adapt or others need to adapt to how you operate. But I think being more aware is just as important, even if you can't change. It helps you as the leader take ownership of the environment and creating a space where everyone feels understood and comfortable. This one particularly resonates with me. Now, number 5 is for those in your team who are really aspiring to be future leaders. Reverse mentorship can easily create career development for these people. It's a pretty great opportunity for people who want to be leaders. They then get the opportunity to showcase their leadership abilities and communication skills with the potential to advance their career. This is one of the easiest ways that you can do reverse mentorship as a leader. is supporting people who are in your team that want to be future leaders. It's also a real win-win, because then you help develop the people who are going to be future leaders in the organisation. When I first heard about reverse mentorship, I thought it was a little bit strange. When I first joined the workforce many years ago, there is no way my boss was asking me for my advice or for me to mentor them. The organisation I started in was extremely male-dominated and hierarchical. As a female, young, without any runs on the board, I was lucky if I was just ignored. That was a good day. Now, having been in leadership for over 18 years, I can say that reverse mentorship is a great way to continue to build your own expertise and connect with your team in a different way. It also provides really powerful insights into what's happening with the wider group. In my experience, no one is closer to the work, what isn't working, what is working, and what could be better than the team doing the work. Reverse mentorship gives you the opportunity to create collaboration and break down the traditional hierarchical barriers. It's also about putting your ego aside and admitting that you might not know it all, and opening yourself up to fresh ideas and perspectives, no matter where they come from. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on reverse mentorship, and thanks very much for watching.